You know what's interesting about highly intelligent people? They rarely look the way we expect them to. We often imagine someone with a very high IQ as obviously brilliant, constantly speaking, solving complex problems out loud, or showing off knowledge. But psychology research suggests something different. Many people with extremely high intelligence actually display subtle behavioral patterns that don't always look like intelligence at first glance. In fact, cognitive psychologists often say that intelligence is less about what you know and more about how your brain processes the world. That processing tends to show up through certain everyday habits. Here are 10 surprisingly common habits often found in people with very high IQ. 1. They crave mental whitespace. Highly intelligent people often seek out solitude. It's not that they're antisocial. It's that their brains are constantly rendering complex data. They need quiet to let the prefrontal cortex, the brain's command center, process reflections and future planning without outside noise. 2. A micro level of curiosity. While others look at the big picture, high IQ individuals are obsessed with the why behind the mundane. They don't just use a system. They want to know why the system was built that way. To them, the world isn't just a place to live, it's a giant puzzle to be solved. 3. The internal monologue goes external. You might catch them talking to themselves. While it looks eccentric, researchers call this self-directed speech. It's actually a high-level cognitive tool used to organize complex thoughts, sharpen focus, and boost working memory. 4. The intellectual humility to say, I don't know. There's a psychological concept called the Dunning-Kruger Effect, where people with less knowledge often feel the most confident. Truly brilliant people usually do the opposite. They are hyper-aware of how much they don't yet understand, making them more comfortable admitting their limits. 5. Constant analysis of the small stuff. An active brain is hard to switch off. This often leads to overthinking, simple decisions, or replaying conversations from different angles. To an outsider, it looks like indecision. To a high IQ brain, it's just exploring every possible outcome. 6. A sophisticated sense of irony. Humor is actually a massive cognitive flex. Creating a joke requires the brain to bridge two unrelated ideas and subvert expectations in a split second. Studies show a direct link between verbal intelligence and a sharp, often dry, sense of humor. 7. Radical open-mindedness. People with high cognitive flexibility don't marry their opinions. If new, better data comes along, they drop their old beliefs instantly. They see their worldview as a beta version that is constantly being updated. It's funny how we mislabel these traits. We see someone quiet and think they're shy. We see someone questioning everything and think they're being difficult. But usually, it's just a high-performance engine running under the hood. 8. The night owl sync. There's a fascinating link between high IQ and non-traditional sleep cycles. Some evolutionary psychologists suggest that those with higher cognitive adaptability are more likely to thrive during the quiet, solitary hours of the night. 9. Processing before participating. In a group setting, the smartest person is often the one listening the most. They aren't just being quiet. They're mapping out social dynamics, reading body language, and gathering data before they decide to contribute anything. 10. An existential drive. High intelligence usually comes with a deep-seated need for purpose. They aren't satisfied with just getting by. They are constantly questioning the architecture of society, the nature of human behavior, and their own place in the grand scheme of things. At the end of the day, intelligence isn't a score on a test or a collection of facts. It's a relentless, quiet curiosity. It's a brain that refuses to stop asking what if and why. If you recognize these habits in yourself, you might be processing the world on a much deeper level than you realize. Thank you and subscribe for more.